All right, my third and final health unlock for 2025 has been the elimination of alcohol from my regular consumption. And I know that this is a really polarizing topic, but I just wanted to be honest about where I've been at over this last year. And to be clear, the consumption of alcohol was really only a social thing that I would do from time to time with friends and family. But for me personally, the way that this transpired was we had taken a trip to India at the end of 2025. We had gone to Gandhi's home, and at the ashram where he lived, there was a quote that was on the wall that said, "My life is my message." And this quotation hit me like a ton of bricks. I pondered this for a couple of weeks. And ultimately, at the end of that time frame, I realized that for me personally, being congruent with the way that I lived and the message that I send to my patients was really important for me. And I didn't feel that alcohol really aligned with that anymore. And so this entire year, I've essentially taken a year off from alcohol. Here's a couple things that happened when doing this. First, unfortunately, all of a sudden I didn't become hyper productive in my business and explode and make tons of money. Two, I didn't become an incredible athlete with significantly better performance than I ever had before. And three, I didn't all of a sudden have incredible relationships that were super different than the ones that I had before. However, here's a few things that did happen. One, I noticed that I had almost every single day an incredibly productive day because I never needed a down day because I was feeling hungover or tired from the night before. Two, in my personal life, I did feel like my relationships between the people that I really wanted to spend time with, I was actually able to clarify who those people were. And the relationships that I have begun focusing on are ones that more align with who I want to become. So I was able to really be able to prioritize the types of people that I wanted. And I think that alcohol had oftentimes interfered with my ability to be able to make those decisions. Um, the third thing that happened from being able to eliminate alcohol from my lifestyle was that I was able to make a conscious choice in my businesses about how I wanted to do things because I was always locked in. I think my clarity around where I wanted to go and how I was going to be able to get there, if you were to talk to my wife, she would tell you that my clarity on my business focus has been the best that it's ever been. Something that I noticed that was interesting about being able to stop alcohol was that we saved an incredible amount of money. These days, as you guys know, alcohol has become incredibly expensive. And so, not having this a part of your weekly or your monthly budget actually helped us to save thousands of dollars over the year. That I felt really good about being able to take money away from that and put it toward things that I actually cared about. For example, like the video that I did initially, which was all about the sauna. I think a lot of the money that we didn't use for alcohol was actually used to be able to put in things like the sauna and the outdoor shower. So I highly recommend that you try to find someone to do this with. Now that could be a friend, it could be a coworker, it could be a family member, it could be your spouse, or it could be a sponsor or something of that nature. Just to be able to make it so that you have someone there to bounce ideas off of, try to be able to talk through things when you have feelings around it. I think that this is an incredibly important step. One of the questions that we keep getting from our friends and family is, why have we decided to stop consuming alcohol? And I guess my question in return is why do you continue to use alcohol? I think being able to have an open and honest conversation about that, in your own mind, can help to give you clarity as to what was the importance of consuming that. Maybe that's feeling a part of a group, which is valid. Maybe that's to turn down anxiety or concern. Maybe that's to feel relaxed and so forth. And all of these are good examples and are totally valid. But I think it's really important to be able to understand, what is your goal of consumption, and does the risk outweigh the reward? And again, in my world, I just sort of felt like the consequence of including alcohol as a part of my regular consumption was bigger than the reward that I was getting. And I think stepping more into who I was and being okay with that actually has helped me to be able to progress on a lot of different levels, not just in small ways, but it was almost like we raised the floor of all of my expectations and standards, which has then made a big difference in my overall life. So I hope this has been valuable for you guys. These top three things that I've included in 2025 are not the right way of doing things. They're just one way of doing things that I've chose to incorporate. If this inspires you, if you have questions, please, of course, let me know. I would love to have a conversation with you. Otherwise, I wish you the best of luck in 2026. Cheers to your happiest and healthiest year yet. We'll see you soon.